Okay, good evening. Welcome to the November 20th, 2025 City Commission meeting. I want to call the meeting to order, and I will turn to Jen, who will give us our invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us begin this meeting by taking a brief moment of silence and reflection and include in our thoughts and prayers the family of Chelsea Gow. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, before we start, our first point of order is Vice Mayor Gow is not here tonight, and we need to give him an excused absence. And just to say, for anybody out there who is not aware, 2 weeks ago, Vice Mayor was not able to be here because of a family emergency. Ended up to be his youngest daughter passed away, and so he has had a lot to deal with in the last 2 weeks. Our hearts are with him and with his wife Karen and their daughter Lindsay. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And again, our hearts are with Jeff and Karen. Okay, we have a presentation, which is the Marina update, which actually might have been asked for by Vice Mayor Gow, but
It was, Mayor. This was requested during agenda briefings by Vice Mayor Gow, and luckily staff was able to accommodate this evening.
okay. And I think it's great. Good timing to do this, so. Okay, Clay.
Make sure we're ready. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners, Clayton Watkins, Engineering and Utilities and Engineering, and with me is Lori Ferguson, our Harbor Master. Let me get this up and going. What we wanted to do today was just give a quick little update of sort of what has been done, where we are, as long as it comes to the marina and its recovery. As we talked about, just do a general update of completed items and tasks, update on the bulkhead construction, the pier replacement.
Sorry. I don't know how I did that. I apologize.
No problem.
Okay, then. I shouldn't have my phone up here anyway, right? There you go.
Makes me want to go check mine. And then also an update on sort of where we think when we'll be re-presenting the master plan to you, and then an update on the design and permitting for docks A and B.
So far to date, since we last met and updated the commission, the peninsula was reopened to the public, to the windlasses, to DYSA, and that happened in May of 25. Stabilization of docks A and B, which was putting down the finger piers and stabilizing some of the pilings, among some other minor repair work, was completed in June of 2025. The new shore power pedestals were installed in July of 2025 at record speed completion, thanks to Buell Electric. Slip renters were able to return following that and during that, and the new agreements were underway in June of 2025. And the Clearwater Ferry started service as of October of 2025, and the ridership is going very well. People are happy to see it back.
So I'll jump in and talk a little bit, give a quick little brief on the bulkhead replacement. As you know, you approved the award of the design contract in January of 2025. At that point in time, we started design. We were able to put the item out to bid in June of 2025 and brought it in front of you on the July 17th meeting. Then construction started a little later than expected. It was initially expected to start in August, but due to a delay in steel delivery, they were not able to get moving until October the 13th. With that, and if you were out there recently today, as we have started to drive these piles, some of the old infrastructure, including the water mains that are in our fire mains, have our old ductile iron pipe. They have caused a few breaks and delays, and then we made the decision earlier this week to have our crews come in and just replace that line, because it's a 6-inch fire line. If that blows during construction, we're going to have a hot mess. So we took 2 days and have had city crews come in, replace that fire line, the old ductile iron, and put in PVC that should survive the construction. So they had the BDI as the contractor. They had a limited crew in there this week. Mostly they've been doing a lot of prep work. As they move along behind the wall, they're going to have to sort of segment themselves. As they move down, they'll remove part of the new wall, old wall, drive the new wall. It's sort of a stepped process. And so there is a bank of conduit that sits about 2 or 3 feet behind that wall. They've been making sure they've investigated it, find it, try to shore it up as they come across. So that's sort of why it looks like they're sort of picking and peeling their way down. They're supposed to return back to the site on Monday, and we hopefully will start seeing the remainder of the walls start driving it and start seeing a better production. We have hit, and there we knew there was some pretty significant, there's a pretty significant rock layer around the 20-foot layer that's taken some time to get through. So it's just a process like any time you're driving steel. It's construction. It's always got its little hiccups, but they're moving along. So we just kind of wanted to give you that quick update on that. Then another update on the fishing pier. Design contract was awarded in April. Expected, we put the bid advertisement out in the last day of October with a bid closing coming up on December the 2nd. Goal would be to get that award in front of you that first meeting in January, and then starting construction as soon as possible thereafter, there in the beginning. But that start winter, spring thing is a little confusing. It's more of a February, hopefully, start frame. That's winter, I guess. And then we're giving them 6 months to complete it. That includes demo and start of construction. A little update on the master plan. Our intention is to find a January or February meeting to bring that in front of you so we can finalize some of the locations when it comes to docks A and B and some of the other items inside of the basin of the marina. And with that, that'll time up with our award of the Dock A design. That went out to bid in, I think, July. Full bid and for an RFQ design. We held 2 selection committees. One is just a review of the responses that was held on October 8th. The top 3 teams were then brought back for interviews, and that was October the 15th. So with that, we're now in the negotiation for that design and fee, for the scope and fee of that. And then a lot of that design and permitting fee will kind of estimate. We put 12 to 24 months because I think a lot of that's going to play into where we finally put these docks A and B. If it's a matter of shifting, we're looking at a full out. I mean, we're going to have to go through Army Corps permitting either anyway, but putting it back is a shorter time frame than if we start shifting. So when that's the 24 months, I believe, 18 to 24 months, I believe, is also the time frame that was spoke about when this master plan was previously brought out. So then we'll estimate, better be able to give you an estimate on construction time frame after that. And so we'll leave that with any questions.
Okay, start with Commissioner Sandberg.
Yeah, thank you, Clay. I was down there today. What were that army of Duke trucks doing down there today?
I was not aware of them coming or having anything planned, and I have no idea what they were doing.
Did
I
you
know
see?
they were down inside of a manhole cover. They were there the last 2 days, but I don't know what kind of work they were doing. It was on the other side of the parking lot, not on the marina side.
Yeah, because they even had traffic cones. I mean, whatever it was, there was a big group of them. I know at the beginning, we also hired a project manager. Is he still on board, regular checkup?
Yes, we meet with him weekly. The way that scope was written, they don't handle a lot that goes with the construction. They handle a lot of the design stuff. They've handled all of our reviews, structural, electrical, and all that other stuff, yes.
And the last thing, I know we just touched on it briefly. When I was down there today and didn't see the crane, I admit I was a little concerned. The big crane's gone, the big crane will reappear?
Yes.
Okay.
Like we talked about, they wanted to get some, with that water main breaking, they kind of wanted to clear a little space. I think they ran them to another site.
Okay,
And then all indications have been told me they will be back Monday starting.
good. That's all I needed. Thanks, Clay. That's good, Mayor.
Commissioner Walker.
Thank you, Mayor. So going to the update of the Marine Master Plan, and just to refresh my memory, we're going to update that to reflect the floating docks. I think we have made that decision, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I think
all right.
that's more of there's that question of location is really what we want to nail down.
Okay. And this might seem like a naive question, but so I would hope that the procurement process would get started before we actually get an update and approve the master plan again. Or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're moving forward
Okay.
with, it's more of, the way we did it, there was some preliminary sort of, a little bit of like planning stage in this scope of work, and a lot of it is to look at the different types of floating docks. That way we can find marinas that they're at, and you can all visit, so you can have an idea of what we're looking at as a product.
Okay. And, I was, I was down at the marina today too, and I did see them pulling out some of those iron pipes, that looked like they might have been there since the 1800s. Yeah. With that said, in terms of, what I heard at the Marine Advisory Committee meeting Tuesday, do you have an estimate? I mean, I know you're hitting some pretty hard rock in terms of both the east and the north wall. Are you, any estimate on how much delay that's imparting? This is all in the discovery, I totally get it, I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I don't think we're looking at much of a delay because of the material they're driving through. I think we might be looking at a couple weeks delay due to the water main breaks that have had. And with that, there's been some other portions of the wall that have shifted, so that's changed a little bit of their scope of work in that manner. I don't think they knew that rock was there, and they have brought the machinery to work their way through it. It's just a slow driving those sheets through that is just kind of slow.
And this actually applies to both the fishing pier and the docks. Did I hear you do, as part of this process, we have to have Army Corps of Engineer approval, or?
Yes.
Okay. And do we have a feel for what that timeline looks like now? Because I've heard it's a fairly lengthy process.
Generally, it is a fairly lengthy process, especially when it comes to doing it in a different location. As we've been back and forth with working on the pier, they don't seem to think it's as long. Kind of estimated they've given us about 6 months, but we all know there was a few period there where nobody was working, so that has sort of changed that.
Yeah. Okay. And just one thing, I saw something today, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I think the Clearwater Ferry is, the ridership has been surpassing a lot of different records, and it's above what it's ever been. And I think I saw that on the NBC affiliate this morning.
Good.
Yeah, I'll confirm that.
Mayor?
As long as you didn't see it on Facebook. And
Yeah, right.
Sorry, yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
City Manager, do you?
If I could make a comment on the master plan, if that's all right, and our plan moving forward, I
Sure,
think
you
it's
want to do it now
important.
with this?
I can wait
Okay.
till the end, but just at
No,
some point.
go ahead. I mean, it probably
Okay.
stays with what Commissioner Walker
Right,
was asking.
it
so.
does, yeah.
go ahead.
Thank you. So we have met on the master plan and picked it up again in terms of moving it forward. Where we got at the end of summer was that, we had made the decision floating versus fixed docks. We're going to, as Clay said, we're going to go out and look at the types of docks and bring back a recommendation for you, and also do additional research into other elements, as part of the master plan. Staff has met, and actually what we did was go back and look at that meeting, to find out exactly what was done and said, and moving forward in our direction, moving forward from all of you. Obviously, after the storms, we set it aside, and it was not a priority. And so now a year has gone by, over a year, and we need to bring it before the commission again to have a formal plan, a master plan adopted. And so we're planning, as Clay said, in probably February at a workshop, coming back and kind of going back over exactly where we were and what we're going to do moving forward as well, and get your direction on next steps for the master plan. But it still is very much on our desk to work on and to bring to you as well. So.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, yeah, because the storms did essentially reset a lot of that. So, thank you.
Commissioner DeGard, questions?
Thank you, Mayor. I've got a couple here. On the fishing pier status, I was the only commissioner not down there today. Just thought I'd mention that. So I'd like a little bit of an update on the disassembly and what the appearance is going to be like in the near future. We have a number of people that are going to be at Bon Appetit for Thanksgiving. What are they going to see?
So when it comes to the bid that we have out today, that closes in the 2nd of December, is for the demolition and the construction of the new pier. So we're putting back a very similar dock in size, or that's out there today. We've tweaked a few other amenities when it comes to some lighting and some fishing, allowing some ADA fishing spaces, some things like that. The floating docks will be upgraded from the aluminum that were there to a concrete floating dock. But in general, you're getting back what was out there.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thank you.
If I may?
Yes, you've already have.
Mayor,
so why not?
Stepping right on in here. And to answer directly as far as the immediate time frame, at Bon Appetit, they're going to see what's there now. And, until we can demolish it and rebuild it. And the reason for that, I talked to Tony Malky today. He's our Director of Parks and Recreation. They have harvested as much of that wood. It's not wood, what is it, clay?
Composite.
It's a composite.
Composite, as they can. Parks and Rec staff was on the dock today. I'm not sure if you were there, Clay, but the stringers are all disconnected. The pilings are all pulled up. They don't feel that it's safe for them to go, number one, on the pier itself to remove some of that material. And number two, if we do remove some of that material, the rest of it's going to cave in. So we're going to have to leave it the way it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just, for the record, want to say the sooner we can get that visually improved, the better the people at the marina and the restaurants and the hotels are going to feel. So that calendar is something in front of us. But I want to compliment everyone for getting the marina operating. That's been a heck of a task. Congratulations to you, Lori, and the entire team. The other thing is I know that when we get the master plan updated, we're going to have some logistic issues with closing parts of the marina at various times. So we're going to be stepping back to go forward, if you will. I want to have a greater understanding of that sequencing, but I'll wait till the master plan is revised. And the final thing I have is, are we going to be in any way impeded by the work of the boat club in what we're doing in the marina? Is that going to be an issue for us going forward? I know they've got some very big plans. They have fundraising. Is any work on the Outer Peninsula going to cause any problems for our plans?
I don't think so. I don't know, of course, when they get everything together and what that timeout is. I think when it comes to the fishing pier and the seawall, they'll be done and out of the way. And I don't think if we're at the construction phase of doing docks A and B, I don't see where that would be an issue.
All right.
I think it'll be very similar to when we built the pram shed, the sailing.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. That's helpful. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Okay, so I'm drawing a blank. The first part of the project, the east wall. So that's going to be done by
Right now, we're April.
April. And the pier is going to be done fall of 2026.
Yes, that's our goal.
And A and B docks will drag out, but will be fully operational as it drags out.
Correct.
Because it'll all be restructuring, doing the floating docks. So my big question to you, City Manager, that means we will have a all-out, full-out boat parade, holiday boat parade next year. Is that correct?
I cannot 100% commit to that. But I can tell you if I have anything to do with it, we will.
Okay, all right. Well, I just want to get it right at the top of the agenda.
Yes.
2 years without the boat parade is enough.
It is, I agree.
And, and it's got to be great. And I know the boat club's going to help us with that big time, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be great, so. Okay, well, those are my questions. So that means that pier can't drag, so. anyway, but I do appreciate all the hard work. I know there's a lot of moving pieces to this thing, so it is appreciated. Okay, so nothing else for the good of that. We're going to move on. I'm going to go to, thank you very much, both of you. Citizens' input. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on a topic that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing no one coming forward, we'll move forward to the consent agenda, which includes 2A, approve the minutes for the September 18, 2025 regular meeting, the September 23, 2025 special meeting, including a correction to include Jennifer Cohen was in attendance, and then October 17, 2025 workshop minutes, and then board and committee appointments for Board of Adjustment and Appeal, Committee on Aging, Committee on Environmental Quality and Sustainability, and Housing Authority. 2C is a request commission approval to purchase replacement network servers with a 5-year support and licensing contract from vendor SHI Inc. at total cost of $176,590.88. 2D, which is the RFP 25-2533 live stream broadcasting media room services for commission chamber rebid. And rebid. What's rebid mean? City manager?
Rebid. Yeah, it's a technical term for it. We're doing it again. Rebid it. We bid it twice.
So we're not approving it, we're rebidding it?
We actually bid it twice, so I think we just said rebid.
Okay, because it's for approving it, right?
Yes.
Okay, that threw me, so just make sure it's clear. Okay, yeah, I know, it's like I heard silence over there, so. I mean, you've been a little bit of chatty Cathy tonight, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Just, nothing, so. Okay, okay, so anyone have anything that they want to pull off the agenda, or? Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second that.
Okay, I think I got Walker and then Sandbergen.
I always come
And-
third.
And, well, not at the CRA meeting. You were first or second? Okay, and I'll ask if there is anyone in the audience wishing to speak on any of these consent items. Okay, seeing no one, I will close that. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, cool. Okay, and now our action items. First reading of ordinance 25-10, historic landmark designation of 558 Beltree Street. And Jen, if you would read ordinance 25-10 by title only.
Ordinance 25-10, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, designating certain real property located at 558 Beltree Street, Dunedin, Florida, 34698-7952, parcel number 34-28-15-39042-005-070, with designated meets and bounds totaling approximately .11 acres. And the residential structure thereon as a local historic landmark and providing for an effective date. That was ordinance 25-10, read by title only.
Okay, and if I could have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Dugard and Commissioner Walker as seconder. Okay, staff presentation, Francis.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Francis Leong Sharp, Planner 2 for the City of Dunedin, presenting the ordinance 25-10, which is a historic landmark designation for the property located at 558 Beltree Street, which will be titled as the Yellow House. Just to get everybody familiarized where this house is located, it is located at the corner, at the northwest corner of Beltree Street and Milwaukee Avenue, as you can see there, in proximity to the stadium, as you can see in the aerial. And going over for the criteria for designation, more specifically for the architectural and structural significance, the home is built in 1926 in a craftsman bungalow architectural style. And as you can see in the front facade, it does demonstrates the fluted columns on brick piers at the front porch, and then the exterior novelty siding, as you can see on this image. And then within the interior, it does carry the Craftsman architectural style with the V-groove ceilings, wood floorings, and the beadboard cabinets in the kitchen, which photos I will present you in the following slides. The previous owners have made improvements, and they've also have done improvements that kept in the keeping of the Craftsman bungalow style. And as you can see with the exterior views, here are the views of the front porch. And then the side view of the home. And then more specifically, the interior views, which you will see the beadboard cabinets in the kitchen on the right, right two images on the slide there, as well as the wood floorings that you see throughout the home. And then more views with the bedroom, where they have converted the sunroom into an extension to the bedroom there. And then the rear views where they've constructed a deck out in the backyard, as well as pavers. And so those are the main essential criterias that were met with this landmark designation application. The Historic Preservation Advisory Committee did review the application on October 9th, 2025, and they too have made the recommendation to approve the application as a local historic landmark. And as a conclusion, staff also finds that the application had met the minimum criteria and is consistent with the review. And we too have also recommended approval for the property to be designated as a local historic landmark. We do have the homeowners here this evening, just in case if you have any other questions that you may have of the application. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll go to questions. I'll start with Commissioner Walker. Questions?
You know, I really don't. I drive by that house every day because it's right around the corner. I just think it's a beautiful home. The only question I really have, for some reason I thought it was already historically designated, but not. I see a lot of head shaking no and thinking to yourself, what's wrong with that guy? So anyway, no, I don't have any other questions. I love the home.
Okay, questions. Commissioner DeGard.
The only question I have is how much do you want for it? Because I love it. I mean, it's a beautiful home. I do want to ask a question of the staff, though. We saw both exterior and interior pictures. Now, as I understand it, the historic designation is primarily for the exterior area, not the interior. Is that correct? Okay, I just don't want to leave the illusion that you're restricted on interior changes at all if you're a historic landmark. Is that the case?
That is the case. So we only focus, as a result of the landmark designation, it only focuses on the exterior improvements that are being made to the structure. In this case, this is very unique that the previous owner and the current owner is making the decision to keep the whole entire structure in itself, exteriorly and interiorly, in keeping with that Craftsman bungalow archatural style.
But there's no restriction on interior change? So they're showing off?
Yes.
And I would too. That's basically all I've got. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Commissioner Sandbergen.
I noticed that there, in the staff report, it brought up the zoning, it must be of the adjacent property, the surrounding. Does that have any bearing?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I can't recall seeing that before, but that's all I have.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's just purely informational, just in case if anybody wants to know.
Good. I'm good, Mayor.
Yeah.
So I don't have any questions, but before we leave, Commissioner Sandbergen, I hope everybody noticed his amazing jacket tonight. It's got turkeys and you know, it's a great Thanksgiving jacket.
Can we get a historical
compliments to you.
designation on this?
He gets a prize tonight. He gets a prize.
Listen,
So-
one of the citizens has asked a request, so.
Anyway, all right, sorry. It's awesome. It's awesome. But we do know his wife picked it out, right? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I don't have any questions, so I'll go to opening it up for public input. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on this item? The owners, would you like to say anything, or? You don't have to, but.
Well, we would just like to say how much we love it.
Can you come to the mic, just, that way, otherwise people can't hear you.
My wife would probably be better than me, but I'm Jack Mills, and I just wanted to thank all of you for your time. We've only been here for a few years, and we just love it so much.
Right.
And that liability.
Oh, you have to turn it on, I'm sorry. Is it?
There we go.
Okay, good, thank you.
The town arborist came to our house when we first lived there for, I don't know, a couple months, and there's a lightning strike on that tree. And somebody at some point had tried to tar it many, many years ago, and it was sort of has like one limb that had been severed. And so when we first moved there, I just loved that tree there in the front. It goes all the way across, and the limbs go all the way over the street into where Curtis Elementary School is.
Right.
And when we moved there, I had no idea what to do with that tree, but I contacted a private tree service, and the guy came out and looked at it, and I said, what can I do to help this tree? The guy said, don't do anything to it, just leave it alone. Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay, you're sure I don't need to spray it, whatever, it's just a magnificent tree. So maybe a month goes by, the town arborist shows up, and he knocks on the door, maybe 2 years ago, and he introduced himself, he was very nice. And he said, you're new, you just bought this place? And I said, yes. And he said, I just want to know, what are your plans for this tree? And I said, well, I had somebody come out, and I said, I just want to do whatever I can to take care of it, whatever we can do. And he said, he was like so relieved. And he said, people move down here, and they just want to, because it's hanging over the house or whatever, they want to cut things down. Or he said, this is the oldest live sand oak in Pinellas County. Wow. And he said, it's over 200 years old. And wow. we just love it. So
that's awesome.
When we thought about doing this, the real reason that we wanted to try to preserve it, not only the house, but that tree. Because if somehow something ever happened to us and somebody came in, there's so much great development going on here, and we were like, somebody could come in, and that tree has to stay there. That is a magnificent tree if you ever go by and just look at it, and you're all welcome anytime to come by and say hello. But we love it here, and we were just sitting here tonight. We're from Connecticut, and we were trying to keep our voices down, but I said to my wife, I was like, the way things are run here and all your time and everything that you do it's just so impressive. So we thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your commitment to the community. We really appreciate, and to trees. Love that story. That's a great story. Thank you. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
We should probably start a Citizen of the Year award. And
I know, that was pretty awesome.
So moved.
Yeah. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you very much. That was great. Okay, anyone else wish to come forward and speak on this item? Okay, seeing no one, I will close public input, go to commission comments. I will start with maker of the motion, Commissioner Dugard.
This makes me exceptionally happy to see not only good citizens coming to our community, but wanting to preserve our community, keep the character of our community, being constructive about being a part. There's just a chain of right things going on here, and we can all be proud of that. Thank you for joining us in Dunedin. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, seconder of the motion, Commissioner Walker.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, that was about, I think we had lived here about a year before we went through that process. And, you know, it's really interesting. But in your case, and I went through the whole application, I was absolutely impressed with the level of detail that went in. And I know the previous owners as well, and I know that he's an architect, and, you know, he definitely knew what he was documenting. And I just the detail and the intricacy that went into that was just amazing to me. And, you know, I also will say that I love what you're doing, because that might be my most favorite house in Dunedin, except for mine, of course. And, but yeah, thank you, welcome to our community, and thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Sandbergen.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to welcome you as residents. I have grandkids who go to school across the street, so I drive by there quite regularly. A few years ago, that was on the tour of homes, so I have had a chance to go through it, and it's beautiful, and congratulations and welcome to the city. Thank you.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, regarding the tour of homes, it's too late for this year, but they're planning already for that.
You're now getting brownie points.
There we go. Yeah, and again, I'll just, add on to what everybody said. Thank you. I'm so glad you came up to make your comments because it just added so much more life to the fact that you're not just making this historic home, but the tree story is amazing. I love the tree story. And so you put those two things together, and that's so Dunedin, and thank you, really, thank you for your commitment. So, okay, so I will go to roll call vote.
Commissioner Sandbergen,
Aye.
Commissioner Walker,
All right,
Commissioner Dugard,
Aye.
and Mayor Franey.
Aye, and the motion passes unanimously, and I believe second reading is December 18th? Is that correct? Okay, good, we'll see you then. Okay, before I do 3B, I just wanted to go back to the famous rebid as part of the consent agenda, only because of full transparency, we were basically approving Full Moon Creative to do our live stream broadcasting media for the Commission Chamber at a cost of $66,914.50. So again, and of course, that's all about transparency, that money, so making sure we're connecting with our citizens. So I did want to put that out there. Okay, 3B, Resolution 25-27, fiscal year 2025 final budget amendment. Jen, could you please read Resolution 25-27 by title only?
Resolution 25-27, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dunedin, Florida, amending the city's operating and capital budget for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025, and providing for an effective date. That was Resolution 25-27, read by title only.
Okay, could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Sandbergen and Commissioner Dugard, and staff presentation, Les and Jean.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Les Tyler, the Finance Director. I'm here with Gene, our Budget Manager. And as mentioned, this is Resolution 25-27, and this is our last budget amendment for the fiscal year 25 year. Florida Statute 166-241 provides that a city can amend its budget at any time during the fiscal year or within 60 days after the fiscal year, and our fiscal year end is September 30th. The proposed amendments are on pages 2 through 4 in the staffing report. The total budget impact on fund balance is shown on page 2 of the staffing report, and the total impact for all funds is $1,865,000. I'd like to briefly go over the amendments, starting with the general fund amendments. I want to mention that all these amendments, except for one, are storm-related, having to do with Milton and Elaine. And the first one is the general fund is an increase in expenditure budget of $259,000 for the Kimley Horn Design Services, and that's for the replacement of the fishing pier, emergency and day docks, and the amenities after Hurricane Helene. This expense was originally anticipated to be paid out of the Disaster Recovery Fund, but was subsequently moved to the general fund, and that's what we're doing here today. This is an accounting entry. In our finance department, working with our auditing firm, decided that we wanted to move the expense to the general fund where the future asset will be assigned. So we're moving it to the general fund, and I want to point out that this should be 87.5% reimbursed by FEMA and the state of Florida. And this item was presented to Commission on April 15th, 2025, approval of the service authorization for design services by Kimley Horn. The next item in the general fund is an increase in expenditures of $907,639 in the disaster recovery fund for expenses related to, this is really for 3 storms. There's a small amount for the Tropical Storm Debbie in August 2024. We also had expenses for Helene that was in September 2024, and then we had expenses for Hurricane Milton in October 2024 that were included in this. And this is a fiscal year 25 year-end entry. and these have not already been allocated to budgets during the year to date. We had lots of budget adjustments during the year, but this is sort of a year in cleanup from the storm damage. And within this, we've got Tropical Storm Debbie expenses of $30,000. We've got Hurricane Helene expenses of $654,000, and the Hurricane Milton expenses of $223,000. And the Disaster Recovery Fund, it rolls up into the general fund in our financials, and this increase of $907,000 is expected to be again reimbursed by FEMA and the state of Florida at 87.5%. And I want to point out that the majority of these costs, nearly all these costs, were in our fiscal year 26 budget. You know, we presented to the commission on July 18th and August 6th, our budget workshops 1 and 2, and we had these expenditures in our forecast for 2025. We knew about them and planned them in our forecast. I wanted to point that out. This is just memorializing them with a formal budget. And the next item in the general fund is an increase in expenditures for the $170,000, and this is for the interest through September 30th for our interfund loan that we did after the storm. We came to commission and we got approval for a $5 million loan from the Fleet Fund for the storm damages, and this is the interest on that. The interest is roughly 4% is what it is, pretty close to that, you know, and we will accrue interest on that until we pay that loan off, and we expect to receive the remainder of the funds for our debris removal in January is our best estimate right now, and once that's received, we will pay that loan off between the general fund and the Fleet Fund. And this item was presented to Commission on January 9th, 2025, Resolution 2501, and that was establishing the loan of $5 million from the Fleet Fund to the city's general fund. And that concludes the general fund amendments. And for the Marina Fund, we had one amendment, and that was an increase in capital expense of $298,000. And this was for Kim Lee Horn Design Services for repair and replacement of the bulkheads that was discussed earlier today. The purchase order was originally posted to the Disaster Recovery Fund, and similar to the other one, in working with our auditing firm, we wanted to move those expenses to the Marina Fund where the fund will reside once it's completed as a fixed asset. And this, again, we expect to be reimbursed about 87.5% from FEMA and the state in the future. And this item was presented to City Commission on January 21st, 2025. And that was approval of purchase order for design permitting and post-design services to Kim Lee Horn. The next fund is the Fleet Fund, and the Fleet Fund has an increase in revenue, and this is the interest revenue of $170,000 from the general fund for the loan of $5 million. That's the other side of the general fund's amount. And again, that item was presented to Commission in January 9th, 2025. And the last fund is the Health Fund. The Health Fund expenditures in 2025 were over budget, and we were monitoring that throughout the year, and we discussed that quite a bit at the August 6th budget workshop when we presented the Health Fund in detail. And we're doing a budget amendment of $400,000 to bring that fund up to the expenditure for the year. We did increase the Health Fund expenses in 2026 by about 13%. We believe we're covered for that year, but we were over budget in 2025, and we're adjusting to that. And that was just, like I said, it was discussed at the August 6th workshop when we went over the Health Fund in detail. That concludes the amendments, and want to also point out that we also always include in Attachment C our estimated fund balances and the funds that are impacted here today. We've got 4 funds impacted, and it shows the beginning amount, and it shows our estimated fiscal year 25 fund balance. And fund balances are all within their targets. General fund's very close to our estimates we had in our budget that was approved back in September, and they all meet their reserve targets. And that concludes our general comments, and happy to answer any questions. Thanks.
Okay, so questions? Don't remember which way I went, so I'll start with Commissioner Sandbergen for questions.
I have no more questions, Mayor.
Okay, Commissioner Walker.
No questions.
Okay, Commissioner Dugard.
I have one question just to break the pattern. I notice on the health fund that that's the only area unstorm related, is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioner.
I'm looking at the frequency we've been having to increase our expense for the health fund over the last 5 years. Is this an unusual experience, or is this beginning of a pattern?
It changes every year. 2 years ago, we had to increase quite a bit, and then last year, 2024, we actually had a year where we were under budget, which was good. So it really changes every year. And, 2025 expenses were much more than prior year actuals, and 2026 we budgeted a little more than 2025. We hope that we're covered for 2026, and hopefully that's a better year. But it really changes a lot every year with we've got our stop loss recovery that you guys are familiar with, and how many people fall into that. That increased a lot last year, so hopefully in 2026 it'll be a better year, and we'll be at least online budget or under, hopefully.
So if we were to chart the last 5 years, we'd probably come out right over that period of time with our current budgeting level. Is that correct?
I think pretty close, and we could look at that too and get back to the commission if you're interested. But I think it definitely the actual costs definitely go like this, and we budget based on our consultants' estimates, and they budget pretty much on a trailing 12 months. So really, that's kind of what we base our budget on. So if 1 year is really, really heavy, and then they base that budget on that trailing 12 months, and the next year we happen to have less higher amounts, then in that situation, we're actually coming under budget.
Okay. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you, Les.
Okay, and I do not have any questions, so I will ask, is there anyone in the public that wishes to come forward and speak on this issue? Okay, seeing no one, I will close public input. Go to commission comments, starting with maker of the motion, Commissioner Sandbergen.
With Les and Jean, our finance department's in great shape, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Awesome. And seconder was Commissioner Dugard.
Congratulations. I mean, seriously, after what we faced last year with the budget, not only did you manage to find the funds to get things going fast, you made some money in the process. I mean, that's incredible. This is a 5-star performance. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Walker.
Yeah, so the one thing, I've learned a few other things too, but one thing I've learned since I've been on the commission is and this kind of goes like when I was in the Navy, it would be, first report is always the worst, and it only gets better from there. And, when we go through the final budget amendments, as we've done over the last 2 years, I always find it is just absolutely remarkable, where we started in the process and where we end up, and we always end up in a great spot. And anyway, I just think you guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Sure, no, go ahead.
It occurred to me I may need to elaborate on how you made money because the general public may not understand that. Because we were able, and we were so physically well led, we were able to borrow money from ourselves and experience the revenue of that cost back into the budget. I just needed to make that clear because people out there might think we're selling debris or something. I don't know. Thank you very much, Mayor.
No, I think that's great. Again, I'll say it again. I've seen a lot of budget teams. Les, Jean, great job. We have a lot of confidence. It makes our job way easier when we know we're getting good numbers and we're getting great expertise in how best to handle, in this case, a catastrophic emergency. So thank you. Really appreciate it. So, okay, so roll call vote.
Commissioner Walker.
Aye.
Commissioner Dugard.
Aye.
Commissioner Sandbergen.
Aye.
And Mayor Franey.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Okay. We will go to 3C, the award of a contract to Tetra Tech, Inc. of Maitland, Florida, and Witt O'Brien's LLC of Houston, Texas, to provide the city with disaster recovery consulting services. I will turn to staff presentation with Les.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. This RFP is for disaster recovery consulting services. It was issued to be in compliance with FEMA procurement guidelines and requirements. FEMA requires that these type services be procured through our city's normal procurement policy with additional FEMA contract terms added to the resulting contract. The result of the RFP is this is a pre-event contract similar to what we have in place for our debris removal and our debris monitoring services. A pre-event contract allows the city to react much quicker when an event occurs. Otherwise, the city would have to issue a bid or RFP after the event in order to meet FEMA requirements for the expense reimbursement, which would obviously delay response time. Staff issued RFP 25-24 titled Disaster Recovery Consulting Services. The city received 6 responses, had a good response to the RFP. The evaluation committee ranked all the proposals submitted and recommended awarding the contracts to the 2 highest ranking firms, which were Tetra Tech Inc. and Wood O'Brien. The 2 firms' contracts are included in the staffing. I did want to point out that we have a small typo in the contracts on page 2 under the terms and agreement at the bottom of page 2 that I wanted to point out briefly. It states incorrectly that the contract is a 3-year contract that can be extended 1 year if both parties agree, and it should state a 3-year contract that can be extended for 1 additional 2-year period. So it's a small change, but we wanted to just make sure we got it right in the final document. So we've reached out to the firms, and they've agreed to that small change, and we've made the corrections to the contract, and we've sent those revisions so that when assuming it's approved tonight, that the fully executed contract will have those revisions to be signed. And also want to mention a little bit about why we're recommending 2 firms. We've had 1 firm in the past. Since the last couple of times we've done this, and we went out for this 5 years ago, and we're doing it again now. We had a 3-year contract with 2-year extension, and now we're going for another 3-year contract with option to extend 2 more years. But a few reasons why we're recommending 2 firms. They're both top quality firms, but I want to just go through a few items. First, if one firm cannot respond or its resources are unavailable, the other firm can step in and immediately to prevent delays in city recovery efforts. Also, one firm might have an expertise in one specific area or specialty compared to the other firm, giving our city flexibility and a more comprehensive response. Dual vendor model can significantly improve response times, especially with widespread disasters. A city could assign tasks to both firms with a multi-front response if needed. The competition between the 2 firms can motivate them to offer higher quality services, and the city can allocate work based on performance as well. And having 2 vendors enables the city to evaluate and compare effectiveness, and this data can guide future decisions and contracts for these services moving forward. So we think it's nice to have 2 firms. A lot of cities do that, so that's why we're recommending it. Both these firms have done business with our city. Tetra Tech's been with us for a number of years and working with us right now, Honolina Milton, and doing a really good job, very good job. They're both very well qualified firms. They're both very well respected in the disaster recovery documentation and FEMA public assistance reimbursements and long-term recoveries. And I think it gives the city of Dunedin 2 quality firms to choose from moving forward, for future storms and events in the future. This contract will be used as needed, and individual scope and fee proposals will be developed as needed. Staff will return to City Commission for approval of scope and fees for these contracts exceeding $50,000. So those are the general comments, and be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, questions? Commissioner Walker.
I don't really have any questions on this.
Okay. Commissioner Dugard?
I have one question. Do these are 2 contracts is actually what we're doing?
Correct, yes.
Okay, they're separate contracts. Do they lean on each other in any way? In other words, is there provisions within the contract that says if not this, then that for the other provider?
No, they're really two separate contracts with the same terms. Yeah.
Okay, it just deals with the same issue?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Walker?
So basically, these are like blanket purchase agreements.
Yeah, pretty much. That's correct. That's really what they are. They're putting something in place that we can use when needed. Correct.
Without, no contract value except for what's expensed against the BPA.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Sandbergen.
When we bring on the two contractors, is there any additional cost? I mean, do we each receive, do they get down payments, or does this cost the city anything else, any extra money?
No, actually, I thought I'd mention too that the rates, the hourly rates are included in the staffing for each firm, and the rates are very comparable for each firm, very comparable. And also, it's interesting, the rates are actually a little less than they were 5 years ago, which is good, and also want to point out that these costs are 100% reimbursable by FEMA. But by current FEMA guidelines, these costs are 100% paid by FEMA. That's one of the few that FEMA pays 100%, but they do pay 100% of the administration costs for this type of work.
Okay. And my last question was, do they do the legwork and the contact back and forth with FEMA, or does that still have to flow through the city's office?
It's a combination. It's actually, we work really, we meet on a regular basis. We meet with Tetra Tech once a week or more, and we meet with FEMA every 2 or 3 weeks, to make sure we're staying on the same page with different packages that they're working on. But it is a combination. At Tetra Tech, we do most of the, but once the documents are sent to Tetra Tech and we have them in the portal, then it's either us or Tetra Tech to help answer questions. Because a lot of what we have happen is with FEMA is they'll change their people and wonder where things are at. So Tetra Tech is very helpful in helping them point them in the right direction to sort of move things along.
Good. That's what I was looking for. Thanks, Les.
Thanks.
So is it one of these firms that would actually do, I mean, God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, that we'd have another storm, but that would do the famous substantial damage letters?
Yeah, well,
No,
yeah. Jennifer can answer that one. Yeah.
no. So I've devised a plan, we have devised a plan with community development. We will do our own substantial damage letters moving forward if that were to happen.
Good, maybe I'll understand it better. Well, at least they'll come timely, right? I mean,
Right, yes.
holy smoke, okay. All right. I don't have any other questions, so I will go to public input. Anyone in the audience have wished to come forward and speak on this issue? Seeing no one, I'll close public input, and I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Whoa.
I'm getting
All
faster.
right, I'll do Commissioner DeGard and Commissioner Walker. Okay. And it was Commissioner Walker. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just trying to be up there. Okay, so I will go to commission comments, starting with maker of the motion, which is Commissioner DeGard.
Outside of the fact that I wasn't really sure how these two contracts were in the same action, because they're really two separate contracts, I have no questions about this. I think it's good planning. Far be it from anybody to step forward and say we shouldn't prepare for this kind of thing again. I just hope it's never used again. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Walker
No, it totally makes total sense to me. Thank you.
and Commissioner Sandbergen.
Nothing else to add, Mayor.
No, it's good to plan. I just have to share that today, I told Jennifer earlier, that I went across the street to my neighbor's house today. I mean, mind you, what is this, a year and 2 months after the storm? And, of course, at one time after the storm, all our belongings were in like 7 different places, in different people's homes. And the last of it was at my neighbor's across the street. We got it today, a grandfather clock and hard alcohol. And you obviously can see we're not big drinkers of hard alcohol, so because we didn't need it for, right, so anyway. And actually a couple things over there we thought we'd lost, and there it was. So it's, and I say that in a way too to say, we are clearly pretty much at the end of our recovery, but my street, our neighborhood, the neighborhoods affected are absolutely not completely recovered. There's so much recovery still left for so many people in this city, so we always need to keep our eyes on that. And then, God forbid, we made it seemingly through this hurricane season. Hopefully we'll get some breathers for a while. So anyway, so I don't really have any other comments. I think it's great planning. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, we'll go to 3D, proposed agenda for December 4th. Let me pull this up too. Are there any additions or deletions or
Yes, Mayor.
questions? What do you got?
So item 3F, which is a sustainability matrix, we're going to remove this from the agenda. We're not quite ready with it yet, but we will be moving it forward as quickly as possible.
So, or have you communicated this to FAST Group? Because this is a very big passion of theirs.
We will be communicating it to them.
Okay, so, okay. You think it'll still be in December?
I do not know. I have not circled back with staff as far as when it's going to be specifically.
Okay. Well, we just made certain commitments, and I just want to make sure that.
I'll make sure that
If we're not gonna be able to
Natalie's,
make it by the end of the year, that we communicate exactly what that date certain is.
Yes.
Because, and Commissioner Walker knows, right? They're holding us
Well,
accountable, aren't they?
I made that commitment by the end of the year, so.
You get 2 extra weeks.
right. I will,
Well, you
I
know
will
my
speak with
point.
staff.
And I mean,
do.
I
Okay.
do think, I can't speak for Commissioner Walker, but the FAST Group is supportive. They feel like we're a leader in this area. So I think if there's a really good reason, we need to go into January, I think they'd understand, but it would be nice to be able to live up to December if we
I'll
could.
convey that to staff.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
would add to that, I think it's important we make every effort to meet that deadline, but if there's a compelling reason that we're not, we really need to get that out in front. I do believe that. So,
Very good.
Okay.
Cool, okay, great.
Also,
Oh, something else?
yes, item 3I, bid for Old City Hall Park, and item 3J, could you please roll that to 1218?
Okay, wait, so I,
Which is bid for
And
Old City Hall Park,
J,
and J,
okay.
which is awarded piggyback agreement, Old City Hall Park restroom to the 18th of December.
okay, and that won't really delay the completion?
No.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Question on, when are we going to be, I know you probably told me during the one-on-one, but freebie.
Yes, and that's the next item up under informational. I'm going to ask that you add it to the workshop.
Workshop.
Yes, on December 2nd.
okay. Well, okay, then, you've got quite a few changes here. Okay, there you go. All right, so is everyone good with the items that are being either postponed or taken off? Everybody good? And so, so I believe the motion I would need would be approval of the December 4th agenda without 3F, Sustainability Matrix Update, and without 3I, which is bid for Old City Hall Park, and 3J, which is award of piggyback agreement for Old City Park restroom.
Correct.
Okay, so I.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, DeGard, Walker, and, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, and any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we'll go to informational items, commission discussion and/or comments. Wait, do we, I guess, yeah, let's do that December 2nd workshop. Where is this December 2nd workshop? Sorry, I got to go back to my other one.
Yeah, under
Yeah,
informational.
I was still on the proposed. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so proposed agenda for December 2nd workshop. Any changes to that? Is that where freebie's going to be?
Yes, I'm going to ask that we have freebie loop under workshop items 2B.
To be, okay. So we would basically approve this workshop agenda with the addition of freebie as to be.
Yeah, and Mayor, we're going to propose a change to our rules of procedures to incorporate the approval of the workshop items on the Thursday before. Because traditionally, we used to approve the work session items, but the workshop items would move in and out. But the direction that I'm getting from you is that you'd like to see the items approved on the previous agenda.
Yeah.
So we need to change our rules of procedure, and you'll see that at the December 4th meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. So all in favor of this agenda? Well, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, we're going to, and then now we go to commission discussion and comments. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to get back here to stay on track with this. Okay, so commission discussion or comments? I'll start with Commissioner Sandbergen.
I don't have anything to add, Mayor. Good.
Okay, and then I'll go to Commissioner Walker.
Thank you, Mayor. So we had the Finance Committee meeting for PSTA on Wednesday, and unanimously, we approved the Cross Bay Ferry Agreement, and there will be coming to the board here, I think, next week. But this is remarkable for Dunedin because of the fact that eventually the plan is that this ferry service gets tied in with the Clearwater Ferry, and the Clearwater Ferry is really doing some, I mean, their numbers are up, and this is really going to be great for the entire region. Because there's a lot, they're really, the way that it's structured such that the contract award goes to the operator, which is going to be Hubbard, and then the Florida Transportation Agency is providing the money for the actual ferries. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up because this is going to be a big deal for the region. Second item, on my colleagues' calendars, 4:30 on Saturday, you will see an entry there, Freeman Sound. Let me talk a little bit about Freeman Sound. This is an organization that was established by one of my neighbors, and I was not aware of it until the tragedy that hit the Gao family in the last 2 weeks. You know, they came forward and really wanted to do something. So they do. The organization does an annual walk. It's Dunedin Walks for Mental Health, and they do this every year. And the walk goes from the marina to Orangewood, and then we will go from Orangewood back up to the Fenway. And the whole way we're accompanied by pipe band, Dunedin High School band, and we're actually getting the junior ROTC to come with us, Navy Junior ROTC. This year's walk is going to be dedicated to the Gao family and in memory of Chelsea. And I'm just, you know, I have just been amazed at the outpouring of support for this. This has just taken on a life of its own, and it's just a wonderful thing. And it's really kind of neat. So anyway, I bring that up, and then the other thing was, and this is more in reference to the history of Dunedin. Commissioner Sandbergen and I got to go ride with the windlasses today for a sailing regatta, and one of us may not have used enough sunscreen, but anyway, beautiful day, except for the fact there was no wind. But it just it was, and having understanding the history as I've gotten to know it. I have to say, it kind of felt like, it was back in the day when, sailing was everything here, and, so a lot of passion there. But anyway, I just that's a plug for the windlasses and the Sailability Organization. So that's all I've got, Mayor.
Great. Okay, Commissioner Dugard.
That's hard to follow. That's good.
It is.
Good stuff. I'm not going to try. I pass.
Okay, well, I have a couple things. Well, first of all, I said part of it is that our community continues to recover, but certainly one of the things I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving is that we did make it with no new hurricanes this year, and people can continue on the path of recovery, and we've come a long way, and I'm really excited about next year's boat parade. So, boat parade. Second thing I'm thankful for is that we live in a community where we do recover together. We banded together to help people that were affected by the storm and continue to do this through the year. Then we went on to celebrate almost World Series champions, to outshy of that, but certainly amazing season by Toronto Blue Jays, and we're going into our 50th year with them. So thankful for that, so thankful for them, so thankful for what they bring to our economy, so thankful for our community that gets excited, and then I'm thankful that we have a community that turns around and does things like what you brought up for Vice Mayor Gao and his family. Also a packed church at First Presbyterian Church for his daughter's service last Saturday, and that's our community. Rise, fall, tragedy, good, celebrate. We're there for each other. And that's an amazing thing. And I'm so happy I picked Dunedin to live in 40 years ago. And then finally, I will say that I called Commissioner Sandbergen and Commissioner Dugard 2 days ago to acknowledge that they both got sworn in as commissioners, and I was sworn in as mayor 1 year ago on November 18th. And you don't know how people are going to be up here, and you two, I'm proud to be up here with both of you. I'll say that, and then I will say you don't know how a new commission with new members and with a new mayor is going to gel. And we certainly all of us, Commissioner Sandbergen, Vice Mayor Gao, Commissioner Walker, Commissioner Dugard, we didn't know how we'd gel. And we definitely have differing opinions, which we should, and that's a good thing. But I couldn't be more thankful for how we've gelled together, the respect we have for each other, the way that we study the issues. Everybody up here does their homework, comes ready to discuss the issues and try to do what's right for the citizens of Dunedin. And that's a great thing for me as mayor, because I can always say to any citizen, everybody up here for the right reason. And I am proud to serve with all of you. And I am very thankful for all of you. So I just wanted to say that. And I say that City Manager Bramley and Jennifer, and of course thankful for Michelle because she's had to fill the seat, and certainly thankful for Rebecca, but thankful you're here to kind of pull that up and sit in that seat. So we have a lot to be thankful for, but more than anything we have, I think, the greatest community in the universe, so just saying. So very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go to City Clerk update.
Just sharing my gratitude as well. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, and City Manager update.
Thank you. It seems to be the theme, so.
No, I think you took,
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Especially the guy with the jacket.
I don't know what to say. That's right.
I think you've taken happy pills today. 'Cause,
No,
you seem to be kind of like,
Little loopy?
yeah, loopy. That's a good word. Are you on any kind of pain pills or
No.
anything? Okay, all right, anyway.
Not
proceed.
yet, but that's right. Yeah, it's the blinding. I want to be thankful for Commissioner Sandbergen's jacket. No, Mayor, the only update I have is the legislative agenda. It is attached and it is final. So I will say that I don't think we've ever been this on top of it as far as our legislative agenda. We're going to start in session again beginning of the year, and we are ready. So we are putting together a plethora of different information regarding the property tax reform that's proposed in terms of what that means and how how property taxes are charged, how they're developed, and how they're used, and that type of a thing, just as an informational for our residents. So we're going to be working on that after the new year. But regardless, this is the legislative agenda. You've seen it many times. You have a copy of it in your inboxes to put in your back pocket and carry around. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
And I agree. I think legislatively, we're on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, and hopefully everybody can go up to Tallahassee again this year. That would be awesome.
I'm
because-
going to join you too.
Oh, that's great. That's great, because I think, obviously, really, really important year coming up. Important year. We got to be on top of it right now, or we're going to get some stuff thrown at us that will be hard for us to manage our local communities. So, okay, and I will go to city attorney update.
No update, just happy Thanksgiving.
Great, thank
That's
you.
what I meant to say.
Yeah. Well, and Jennifer Cohen, thanks for being so articulate, you know. Our city manager's got to work on that. No, just kidding. Okay, all right. Anything else good for the order? So let's all just say Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
The city of
Thanksgiving.
Dunedin, and meeting is adjourned.
It's a wrap.